students, how are you? Today we shall begin our new chapter, that is atom and molecule. And this is introduction. I am skipping this and I am coming straight to the laws of chemical combination. Basically there are 5 laws of chemical combination, but in this class we shall study about only 2 of them. So first of them is law of conservation of mass. This is very important. Please mark it and it will help you in all the classes. The law of conservation of mass states that during a chemical reaction, matter is neither created nor destroyed. Which means if there is a chemical reaction, and we have studied about chemical reactions, in any chemical reaction, no new matter is created or no matter is destroyed. Which means if in a chemical reaction, total mass of the products is equal to the total mass of the reactant. Which means all the substances which combine to make a product, total mass of those all the substances of reactants will be equal to the mass of the products formed in a chemical reaction. This law is known as law of conservation of mass. Total mass of the substances before the reaction, total mass of the substances after the reaction. For example, 71 gram of hydrogen, 2 grams of hydrogen and 71 gram of chlorine give rise to the 73 gram of hydrochloric acid. So here we can see that mass is same before the reaction and after the reaction. That means mass is conserved. This is the law of conservation of mass. Now next move to the second law of constant proportion. The law of constant proportions is also known as the law of definite proportions. In the examination you can be asked by the name of law of definite proportions, or you can be asked by the name of law of constant proportions. The law of constant proportions was postulated by Proust in 1797. Please underline this. 1 mark question can be set from this. According to this law, a chemical compound always consists of same element combined together in the same ratio. Underline this. This is the definition. This is the language. So a chemical compound always consists of the same elements combined together in the same ratio, independent of the method by which it is prepared or the source from it is obtained. For example, water, that is hydrogen H2O, in this ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is always 2:1. Now if we collect water from any mountain or any place on the earth, or from tap, pond, river, well, or we prepare water in laboratory, formula will be remain same. H2O ratio between hydrogen and oxygen will be 2:1 always. This is the meaning of law of constant proportion. That means if the same compound is being prepared, then same elements will combine in the same ratio, no matter where we are preparing it or from where we are getting it. Now what are the extension of the atomic theory? In 1805, an English school teacher named John Dalton postulated his atomic theory, known as Dalton's atomic theory. Now what are the postulates of this Dalton's atomic theory? First is all forms of matter, solid, liquid or gas, and elements, compound or mixture, which means any kind, be it solid like iron, be it liquid like water, or let us say mercury, or gas like hydrogen, carbon dioxide, or oxygen or nitrogen, or element such like gold, silver, iron, sodium, etc., or compounds like NaCl or mixture. They all are made up of very small particles called atoms. Atom has its origin from Greek. In Greek, atomos means uncut with or indivisible, which means we cannot divide these atoms in smaller units. So atom cannot be created, divided or destroyed as a result of chemical change. That means law of conservation of mass. So atoms cannot be created, divided or destroyed as a result of chemical change. So what happens? They change their form. All atoms of an element are identical and different from those of the other elements. That means atoms of iron will be identical no matter from where we are getting iron, but atoms of iron will be different from the atoms of gold, silver or sodium, or they all will be different from each other also. So difference in the properties. Thus hydrogen consists of only the atoms of hydrogen, while oxygen consists of only the atoms of oxygen. The atoms of hydrogen differ from the atoms of oxygen. Atoms of elements combine in the ratio of whole numbers, which means they do not combine in parts. Whole number means 2:1, 3:5, just like that, to produce a large number of compound atoms of a new substance. The compound atoms of a particular substance are identical in all properties. For example, if we are talking about bronze, then all the particles of the bronze will be having same properties and differ from those of the other substances. And properties of the atoms of bronze will be different from the properties of other molecules. Now, what are the drawbacks of this Dalton's atomic theory? According to Dalton's atomic theory, an atom is the smallest discrete means clearly divisible, just like pens, pencils, etc., and indivisible particle of the matter, which means we cannot divide it further. However, modern researchers have found that the atom is not truly indivisible, which means we can divide it also. The atom is made of even smaller particles called electrons, protons and neutrons, and can be further divided into still smaller particles as mentioned above. Those are called subatomic particles. Dalton's theory says that all atoms of an element have exactly the same mass. The discovery of isotopes indicated that all atoms of the same element are not perfectly identical. Isotopes are those which vary in atomic mass, but they are same in atomic number. Those are called isotopes. At least they differ in their masses. Atoms of the same element having different masses are called isotopes. Please underline this. This is the definition of isotope. Atoms of same element having different masses are called isotopes. According to the Dalton's atomic theory, the atoms of different elements should have different masses. But it is not found. So there are many examples where elements are different but masses are same. Those are called isobar. John Dalton was born in 1766 in Cumberland in England. His father was a poor weaver. John, after his schooling, began teaching at the age of 12. Quite a young teacher he was. Now, what are the atomic symbols? These are called atomic symbols. Now, what is the meaning of? What is the definition? All the elements can be described either by one or two letters, such as vanadium is described by V, uranium by U, tin is Sn. Why it is Sn? Because its Latin name is stannum, and all these names are usually derived from Latin or Greek, and their first name, these letters represent their name in Greek or in Latin. For example, lead is English name, but its name is plumbum in Latin, hence its symbol is Pb. P for P and B, plumbum. Therefore, instead of writing the full name of an element, we can simply write a letter of or two. Symbol of an element is an abbreviation for the full name of the element. Please underline this. This is the definition of symbol of an element. It is an abbreviation of the full name. It may also be defined as the symbol of an element. An element is a shorthand notation for its name. Symbol of an element consists of one or two letters derived from common or Latin or Greek name of the element. For example, symbol of hydrogen is H and that of helium is He. He. Now, what is the significance of these symbols? The symbol of an element has both quantitative as well as qualitative significance. What are the significances? Now let us see. The symbol stands for the name of the element, so we can identify the element by looking at the symbol only. The symbol stands for one atom of the element. The symbol represents quantity of the element equal in mass to its atomic mass or gram atomic mass. The symbol also represents mass of the element, which contains one Avogadro number of atoms of that element. We shall study about this later. For example, the symbol O stands for the element oxygen. One element of the oxygen, if we want to show two atoms, then we have to write 2. The mass of oxygen is equal to its gram atomic mass, that is O represents 16 grams of oxygen. The mass of oxygen, which contains one Avogadro number, that means one Avogadro number of mole, there happens to be 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23 atoms of oxygen. This is called 1 mole, and this number is constant for every element, no matter it is oxygen or it may be sodium, potassium, anything, but in 1 mole number of atoms shall remain same, that will be 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. Now, atomic mass. Atom is the smallest particle which takes part in a chemical reaction. Smaller particles which we have studied about, like electron, neutron and proton, they do not take part in the chemical reaction. So it is the smallest part which takes part in a chemical reaction. A molecule is the smallest unit of any substance which can exist independently, which means atom can exist in independent form, but usually they do not. But molecule is the smallest unit which exists independently, which means they can exist on their own, and this molecule shows all the properties of that substance. Each molecule is a group of chemically bonded atom, or it could be a single atom. Then it is called monoatomic molecule. Each atom or molecule has its own characteristic mass, which means we can identify that particular atom or molecule by just looking at its mass, and that mass is represented in gram or kilogram, etc. The actual mass of a single atom is very small. An atom of hydrogen, which is the lightest atom, is this 0.0000001673. That means 1.673 into 10 raised to the minus 27 kilograms. We have studied about scientific notations in class 7. This is that. It is not possible to measure such small masses even with the help of most sensitive balance. We cannot weigh them. Such small numbers are not convenient to write also. IUPAC is an organization which works in applied chemistry, and it is the topmost body to regulate all the studies in the field of chemistry. So this IUPAC accepted the atomic mass unit scale to be used for atomic and molecular masses in 1961. Please underline this. One question can be set from this. In this scale of atomic masses, the isotope has been assigned an atomic mass of 12 atomic mass unit. Every isotope has been assigned this 12 atomic mass unit, or AMU. Atomic masses are very small. To express atomic mass, a unit called atomic mass unit, which is AMU, symbol U, or simply unit is commonly used. The atomic mass unit is defined as follows. This blue lines are definition of atomic mass unit. Please memorize them. Atomic mass unit is defined as 1/12 of the mass of an atom of carbon-12 isotope on the atomic scale, that is 1 AMU is equals to 1/12 mass of the C12 isotope, which is denoted by letter U, which means 1 AMU is equal to the 12th part of the isotope, 1/12. That means 1 out of 12 parts of a single carbon-12 isotope. On the basis of concept described above, we can define atomic mass as number of times an atom of the element is heavier than the mass of an atom of carbon-12 isotope, which means atomic mass, it is just like we weigh vegetables etc. in shops. There, if we want to weigh 2 kgs, then he will put 2 kg, 2 different 1 kg marks. Now, what is the atomic mass A? The atomic mass A of an element is defined as the average mass of an atom of an element in atomic mass unit. Basically, all the atoms, in case of isotopes, they do not carry same mass. That's why atomic mass is the average of all the atoms present in a sample, and then we take out the average of their masses, we add them and we divide them. Then then we get this average mass, which is denoted by A. Due to the presence of isotopes, the elements have fractional atomic masses. In fact, the atomic mass of an element is the weighted average of the atomic masses of all the isotopes of an element. Now, is atomic mass unit a practical unit? The atomic mass unit is not a practical unit because it is equivalent to very small mass, so we cannot use it in practical applications. We cannot use in our life or in laboratories. One atomic mass unit is equal to the 1.66 into 10 raised to the power minus 27 kilogram. Such small masses cannot be measured on any balance. So, what atomic mass of an element? The average mass of an element, of an atom of an element, is known as atomic mass. Atomic mass of an element is designated as A. Since atomic mass is actual mass, hence it has the unit of mass, that is gram, kilogram, or atomic mass unit. The accepted unit for describing atomic mass is atomic mass unit, about which we have studied earlier. The average mass of an atom of any element in atomic mass unit is called its atomic mass. This is the definition of atomic mass. What? The average mass of an atom, which means this is not actual mass of that atom, but it is the average mass of all the atoms present in that particular sample. That is called atomic mass unit, or so this atomic mass unit is called atomic mass. Atomic mass of an element A is equal to the average mass of an atom of that element in atomic mass unit. In the next class, we shall study about relative atomic mass of an element and furthermore, and many more things. Till then, try to understand this, and if any problem, contact me. Thank you. Have a nice day. God bless you.